what's really exciting for me is like hearing what you've come up with, because I want to take a few steps back there, because I don't want the, I don't want the listeners and those watching to miss this important point and gloss over the fact that real estate was your side hustle. Then it became your full-time gig. Like, this is what you did. And then you personally bought over 40 doors, in single family rentals in these fourplexes, and you replaced your income. So you became financially free, financially independent at a young age. And then from there, you syndicated over 1,000 doors via your fund. And so, like, when I think about just someone that has, really manifested some incredible things in their life, like I think about you, a guy who had a corporate gig, and then but it was a little, it's different than a true corporate job, but you kind of rose in that company. You were then able to take over, a big position in a new up and coming solar division. Then while you have this cash, you're investing in real estate while you're sitting on this money that is hopefully going to pay off. So you take some chips off the table when Goldman sells, and then you're just banking on Blackstone, and then Blackstone sells and you've got extra capital. But at this point in time, you've already been doing real estate. It's a side hustle. You know how to do it. So you take this extra capital and you can really put it to work. And you got to a point where you have over 100 streams of income. And so I just want to make sure that people are hearing that you've been able to create this ideal lifestyle with a focus on your family. But the reason I think you've been able to do it is because of your intentionality and because of this lifestyle design that you have. Like, you weren't looking at one area of your life. You were looking at all these areas of your life, and finances were one component of it. And as you got better there, it strengthened the other areas. So please do share. I just wanted to color in some of that backstory so our audience kind of has the full picture, because what you did is incredible.
Justin, thanks, man. I appreciate that compliment. Specifically on the doors we talked about there, let me share that story real fast. And I share this humbly to be able to create value for your listener base. But so when I was 30 years old, I talked about financial freedom for 5 years, and I wanted it, but I never committed to it. So when I was 30 years old, I sat down on a Sunday. I remember it clearly, about 4 hours. And I said, okay, hey, I'm going to commit to financial freedom. And there's a big difference between being committed and wanting. Everybody wants a lot of things, right? But being committed is a whole different ballgame. So I said, okay, I want true financial freedom. What do I need to do? So I calculated step number one, what's my annual income? Sorry, what's my annual cost of living, right? And let's just say it's 200 grand as an example. Okay, so that's number one. Number two question, what's my current passive income, right? Let's say I have a townhome or condo or some dividend stock or whatever it might be. Say it's $50,000 a year. Okay, next question is, what's the gap? How much more passive income do I need for financial freedom? In that scenario, it's $150,000. The next question is, how many years am I willing to commit to achieving this financial freedom? And at that time, when I was 30 years old, it was 10 years. And so then you divide that $150,000 needed by 10 years, that's $15,000 per year. Very digestible, very doable, right? And so I was okay, I need $15,000 per year of new passive income. How am I going to do that? And the answer for me was I needed 40 rental properties by age 40. Very clear, very systematic. I reverse engineered that whole process, made a blueprint, and just committed to it. And every single Sunday, I'd go back and look at my commitment and measure my progress. And I think there's real power in writing things down real quick. I think that, just the simple act of writing down your goal, statistically, it's 42% more likely to hit your goal if it's written down. I don't know where that stat came from. I also heard that 67% of stats are made up on the spot. so 42% better, that sounds good. But anyway, so writing it down, what that does is it allows you to track your progress and see like incremental improvements, and also holds you accountable to what you committed to. So anyway, I wrote that down, started tracking it, and I was able to hit that goal when I was 36 years old, so a few years early. And then at that point, I'm like, what's my next goal here? And And I came up with the goal of 1,000 ownership and 1,000 doors by age 40. I had some competency, I had some confidence, I had a team, I had my, real estate strategy coach, I had my CPA, my team assembled. And so, it was a hairy, audacious goal, which in my opinion is what we should always have, because if it doesn't stir emotion and get you a little bit scared, but a little bit nervous, but a little bit excited at the same time, then it's not a big enough goal. That's my personal opinion on it. And so I committed to 1,000 doors by age 40, blueprinted out, reverse engineered it. I hit that, last December when I was 40. I won't tell you my next goal yet until after I hit it, but it's been a fun process. My point there, though, is just the intentionality of not just saying, hey, I want this much capital, this much cash flow. There's got to be so much more purpose and intentionality behind it. So, it's one thing to have that blueprint, but I think the key there, or the second key, is then tying purpose to your money, make money matter, right? The more that you put emotion and purpose and passion behind it, how you're going to give back. You're going to be able to create quality of life for your kids, have amazing weddings, and, for the kids, and experiences, and, go snowboarding with your kids when you're 80 years old, whatever else. Like, those type of things are what really make money matter. And I think the more you can tie purpose to it, the easier the money comes to you, and the better steward you'll be over that capital, because you understand how it's going to fast track the outcomes that you really want in your life.